This is Touroll U2, an electric mountain bike sent to me by kickbuying.com. On the day of recording, the bike retails for 649 euros, which in my opinion is quite a good price, looking at the deal that you get. And talking about the deal, the very first thing I would like to highlight is hydraulic disc brakes. Well, it's super easy. If you can have hydraulic brakes, you always want the hydraulic brakes because they are so much more accurate to control, and you can actually completely lock them or feather them a little bit if you're doing wheelies or you're just riding down the hill or whatever the hell you're doing. Hydraulic brakes are great. I'm 1.91 m or 6'1", and I would say that if you're taller than me, probably you should consider some other electric mountain bike because it's on the edge. I have the seat on the highest position, and when I put my leg down, it's not all the way straight, even though my seat is at the highest position possible. At least I'm not hitting anything with my heels when I ride, but in terms of how I sit on the bike, I would actually like to move myself a little bit more back, probably 5 centimeters, and I can't do that because the saddle is also at the most backwards position possible. So it's okay, I ride comfortably being 1.91 m. The manufacturer says it's for up to 1.95 m rider, but I think it's definitely better for shorter riders and probably not the best idea if you're above 1.91 m. It's a little bit disappointing that there is no LCD screen or any other information screen on this electric bike. So all you have is this little control panel right here. So you have your battery level indicator, 3 assist levels and on which one you are. You have the walking mode and the shift of the assist levels, lights on, off, and turn on and off button. That's it. So you don't know how many kilometers have you made, you don't know what's the speed you're riding at, and you have to track that on external apps. And talking about the speed, let's see how fast this bad boy can go. Alright, so now I'm only pedaling to get the bike moving, but I'm not supporting it by any means in terms of getting speed. I see on my watch that we're doing 22, 23 kilometers per hour. So that's the top speed of this bike. It is limited, of course. It has 48-volt battery and 250-watt motor. Potentially it should be able to reach more speed, but I don't know yet how to unlock the speed if that's possible. You can always replace the ECU and get more speed, install any custom controller, but with the stock one, it goes around 23 kilometers per hour. The bike has very gentle acceleration, so if I start pedaling, it starts increasing and adding the power slowly, and I'm a little bit missing thumb throttle, so I could just hit the accelerator whenever I need to. Otherwise it's nice and smooth, there is nothing much to tell. Let me put the microphone next to the motor, you will hear the acceleration better, I believe. As it is steel frame, it's easy to put microphones with magnets. The bike itself weighs around 22.4 kilograms without the battery, and separately the battery is another 3.8, making it almost 26 kilograms in total. So the bike comes with massive 29-inch tires, which will allow you to go off-road on any gravel roads or basically any trails, sandy places, whatever you can imagine. It's actually super aggressive and a bit maybe heavy. Just look at how aggressive these tires are. They look like downhill tires, so you can ride on basically any terrains. And of course they will a bit add rolling resistance for you when you roll on asphalt and maybe create some more noise. So just right here in front of me I have a super steep hill which I'm going to try and climb up. I will have to pedal, the bike itself will not carry me up, but let's see how it's doing while going uphill. I'm not gonna make it even with the motor here. Nope. Plan B, guys. Let's see how that goes from this side. I didn't take any starting speed, and I am helping the bike, of course. Okay. The fact is I wouldn't be able to climb that hill without the engine, even though I'm riding bikes. I think what else I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the city, and right now I have a 15 kilo backpack on me, so I'm a 100 kilo rider. I'm just barely touching the pedals. I'm actually assisting the bike a little bit because I think I will not assist the bike at all. So now I'm not assisting the bike and it's doing all the climb itself. I have to mention that I'm on a bit less than half of battery left and the bike is pretty heavy loaded. Okay, so right now we're climbing quite a steep hill. The bike is loaded with 100 kilograms. The battery is less than half and I'm not pedaling at all, so the bike is doing all the work. So that's the quite realistic conditions, I would say, in a hilly terrain. But we are climbing up, no problem whatsoever. So I think the hill climbing power is sufficient for any of realistic city riding that you will do. If you want to go serious off-road, then probably you need a bit more powerful motor. Today I'm doing a little bit more tough range test. I think it will be the longest trip before I release this video. So I have a 15 kilogram backpack on my back. Totally I am now 100 kilo rider. And we're going to another town all the way against the wind. I'm pedaling a little bit, my heart rate is around 100, so I'm not doing the hard work at all. I find it a little bit hard to talk about the riding range with electric bikes because it definitely depends on how much effort you want to put in. So my results, I did various trips in various places, always in the, of course, top speed mode, going 24 or 25 kilometers per hour. And I've done, my longest trip was 57 kilometers. And when you look at the battery bars, I was still having between second and first, meaning when I stop pedaling, it would jump to second. When I start pedaling again, it goes to the first one. So I had around 25–30% of the battery left, I assume. So probably I could have done 70 kilometers or so with not pedaling basically at all. So just barely helping the bike and having overall total weight with my backpack being 100 kilometers going against the wind. So at least you can do 57 kilometers 100%. I believe you can do 70 kilometers even a heavier rider against the wind without pedaling. So that's a massive riding range because of these large 29-inch wheels, I assume. And today I'm rolling downwind. I'm already done more than 30 kilometers and I still have full battery bars. So I'm also putting in some effort myself just because I want to exercise. So I assume you can do 150–200 kilometers. It's really down to you how much range you want to squeeze out of your Touroll U2. So let me try and sum the things up. First we're gonna take a look at what's awesome. Then we're gonna take a look at what's good, and then we're gonna talk about the things that I would like to improve. The very first thing that's awesome with Touroll U2 is the price. It's around 650 euros, plus you can get a discount with the codes and so on. It will be around 600-ish euros, I assume. It's a good bike for 600. The second thing I like about this bike is how it looks. I like the sleek frame design, the really nice paint quality, the matte black probably. Paint job is really nice and it's like simplistic. There is no too many bling things. The third thing I like about the bike is, of course, the hydraulic disc brakes. I think it's a highlight of the bike, especially for that price. You won't get many bikes with hydraulic disc brakes, and it's super nice. Now let's talk about the good things, and one of the first ones is the build quality. I think the overall build and component quality is good. It's not great. It's definitely a budget type of bike, but even the front fork, front suspension, it's nice and it works. It's probably not gonna last long, but you can always replace that with another replacement after 1 or 2 years when it gets rusty and it stops working. So for this low price, you get a decent quality of components, and that's good. The other good thing, I appreciate that the sellers included the front LED light, which can be turned on and off with a button, so I don't need to think about buying and installing a headlight on the bike. And the third good thing is the tires if you are going to ride off-road. Now, if you're not going to ride off-road, it's not that good because they are very heavy, they are pretty big and unnecessary for riding in the city. Well, unless you like the design, because you have electric assistance, so it doesn't matter if the bike or the tires are a bit more heavier, because the bike will get you up there. And the last but not least good thing I would like to mention is the riding range. So then, after I've done more than 50 kilometers on the bike, I still had around 30-35% left. So more than 1 bar, still between 2 and 1 bars of the battery left. There is no way to check it because there is no LCD, and that brings us to the first downside. I really don't like that there is no LCD showing me what's my speed, how many kilometers have I done. So it contributes to the sleek look. But this is first improvement I would like to do, is install some sort of LCD so I could see my speed and distance instead of now just looking at my watch. The second improvement point for me is the speed. It's limited to the legal 25 kilometers per hour requirement. But for example, in Denmark, you can ride bikes up to 40 kilometers per hour. And at least I can't find the way how to unlimit it. I asked the seller, and I will update this if the seller comes back with some suggestions. Otherwise, I will most likely just install aftermarket controller with LCD, and will just drive, and probably with the front throttle, and just drive in the way I want. And the last but not least improvement I would make on this bike is I would replace the saddle, seat, depending where you're from, because it's too soft and too wide for my taste, especially on longer trips like these. Yeah, it gets too sweaty and it's too much padding. I prefer much harder seats for my riding style. Well, I hope that gives you a good overview of Touroll U2. And let me know if I forgot something in the comments below. I try to reply most of the comments on YouTube, so I'll be happy to comment or add things that I forgot to mention in the video. Now, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.